We're recording.
All right. Kick it. I don't know what that was.
I don't either. Don't do it again.
Save it.
It's enough of that.
Welcome to Hardheaded. I am your host, Matt Amos. Along with me, as always, Chet. I'm not even going to come up with the name. Sears. And Troy, three-shot Trussell. And we're back for another episode. And I guess we're going to start off with Troy.
Yes.
What, sir, is on your mind, even though I know that is a loaded question that typically will involve something that I have no idea what it is.
You know, surprisingly, you've said that a bunch before.
Yeah.
And you've agreed with me on a lot of top threes that, you know, movies and stuff. It's like, oh, yeah. So
you guys are almost the same person.
we have a lot more in common than you think.
I mean, sometimes.
Like, I get you guys confused.
Now your Christmas movies, no.
Yeah, they were
a little rough.
They were really good. I was trying to open your mind a little bit.
Hopefully it opens some listeners' minds.
Didn't work for him. He's closed-minded.
Hashtag join the conversation. If one of us opens your mind, let us know about it.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. All right. So what's on my mind? Have you ever said to yourself, what the heck have I done? Have you ever said that to me?
Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Only. Yeah. So recently, you'll get a kick out of this. Recently, my wife and I moved, and we decided to downsize. It's a good financial move for us, and everything looks awesome on paper.
Yeah.
But going and living through this, sometimes we ask each other,
like, what did we just do?
What did we just do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what's been on my mind, is trying to unravel and put back together the move that we just made.
So you had this plan, you thought it through.
Right.
This is how it's going to work. Everything lined up. You executed it. And let me tell you, really big fan of you hiring movers. This move.
Hands down.
Very, very big fan of that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I will plug their name when I am more prepared.
I don't care who it is, as long as it's not me.
Because they were awesome. Yeah. So our family has moved every 2 years. About every 2 years since we moved to Kansas. And, you know, Chet helped move the first 3
or 4
times. And then he said, never,
you
never
guys,
again.
this is too much.
You're pushing boundaries. And I started noticing that with some friends, and it's like, we're just gonna hire.
So you executed the plan, and now you're on the back end of it.
Right.
And you're like, what did we just do?
Yeah. And when we calm each other down, like, you know, take a deep breath, you know, we have a long-term goal. Then we get okay. It's just living through it in the moment. It's just been really tough.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we downsized we went from around a 2,300 square foot home to like a 1,400 square foot home with 5 children. Oldest one is 10.
Yeah.
And so our daughter has a room in the back, which is nice.
Character building. This is just a great opportunity, right?
Yeah. And so we put our three boys upstairs, and then the baby, another boy, in his own room so he can take naps and go to sleep and stuff. And then my wife and I had to build a wall for a master bedroom because it was lacking in that area. But it's working out. I think it's just tough going from that bigger space to the smaller space. We had the conversation the other night of,
we have all the stuff to fill the big space.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we got rid of a bunch of stuff because it's like, well, we don't need that chair or that chair anymore. There's nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
In the house we moved into, the basement is like a dungeon basement. It's just got the HVAC down there. You know, it's
not livable.
It's not livable. It was caked with mud the first week we were there because we had all that rain come in, and there was siding missing on the side of the house that hadn't been put up yet, that got put up the next day. But the flood was coming in, and I was standing in my basement with like
oh wow,
in ankle deep water.
Is that when you were first like, what the heck did we just do?
That was like the first one. And so Hannah my wife had bought the foam can stuff that you shake up and spray foam, and I was like, I wonder if it stops water. And it does, because I just went in there and just stuck it in every gap that I could and just sprayed and stopped the flow of water.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy, because I kept looking at it coming up the furnace, rising, and I was just like, oh gosh,
this isn't good.
Yeah. So, yeah. So what's been on my mind is the exit strategy, and we know we're months away from it. Excuse me. I'll cut that out.
Please.
I know we're months away from it. Hopefully months. Could be a year, which would be fine. But yeah, so there's a lot of options on the table, whether we, sell this house and move into another one and just take more profit off of this, or if we, lease this one and move into something else, or if we stay in this one and get an investment property and then move a couple years down the road.
Yeah.
So we still got a lot of options and stuff we're thinking about, but
right now you're just like, what did we just do?
Yeah. Right now it's hard.
Now that we've done what we did, what do we do now?
How do we get from here to where we want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did we ever survive in the mud huts with all those kids?
I don't know. There are people still doing it. So, I mean, people in other countries, I mean, they're like, hats off, because, we go 30 minutes without electricity, or God forbid the cable go out and we can't turn on Netflix. Oh my gosh. What kind of a society have we become? This is...
Now, if I don't have my Netflix or something, there's a complete downward turn at my house.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I'm with you. We had a few nice weather days not too long ago, and it was said to my kids, you will be outside all day. Like, we're not coming in. This is spring's here. It's time to get out, enjoy this sunshine, get some vitamin D. And it worked.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many days in a row that would work, just catch a nice day on a weekend.
Yeah. I came back from Kentucky and came inside, and here it was pretty nice when I got home. Of course, the weather turned here in the last couple of days, and it's been windy and cool. But my youngest plays softball and soccer, and then my oldest, is into the figure skating deal. And I came home, and both of them are in their own rooms watching
whatever
YouTube or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go, I'm like, is this how star soccer players and softball players spend their day? I go to my other daughter's room. Is this how champion figure skaters spend their day? I just want to know.
Just need to know.
Just
how
need
they
to
train.
Because it's definitely not training. I think again it goes back to parents leading your kids in the right direction, and hey, get outside.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that beats that fresh air. And when you've got 5 kids and 1,400 square feet, get outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something.
One of the first things that we did, and we just completed with the laying of the sod, is we completely redid the backyard. So we put a fire pit with gravel around it, and then we did a layer or a...
Dude, I need to come by.
Section. Yeah, it's awesome. We did a section of sod, and then the back is all mulch where the trampoline is and everything. It's just really looking awesome back there. So, yeah, and that's where they go.
Yeah.
Like, it's fenced in. We put up a fence, privacy fence, did all that. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So,
sweet. Yeah, I'm inviting myself over.
Anytime.
Okay.
Y'all are welcome.
You're going to have to come and mulch and fire pit my place.
My daughter and my wife designed it and put in most of the sweat equity, and because I was actually at a men's retreat the weekend they started it.
Oh, imagine that, hey.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
what have I done with my life? I'm going to go to a men's
My
retreat.
wife is notorious for starting projects when I go away for the weekend
Yeah.
and not being done when I get back.
See,
Yeah.
my wife and I, we had to call a truce. So I've got a bunch of mounts and, various game animals that I've taken, whether it's a European, skull mount or, a full shoulder mount or, any of
Moose, elk.
the elk's not mine. The elk is Steve Peoples. That's his. The moose is mine. And it wouldn't fit in my house. That's why it's in the office. But so
Hence the trophy room. That's why we call this the trophy room.
like
There you go.
we actually in my house we have to we have to move mounts off of the table before we have people over if we're going to seat more than 4 people. So I've got on our dining room table,
That's awesome.
I've got an alligator hide, I've got a buffalo hide, I've got a Japanese sika, I've got a nilgai shoulder mount, and then I've got a mule deer shoulder mount.
Because you just don't have anywhere to hang them?
I don't have anywhere to hang them.
Did you
Nope.
eat that Psycha deer?
Yes.
That is some of the best meat I've had. I should have put that on my top 3 when we did meats. Because, see,
Wasn't it one of Steve's?
no, the one I ate, quick story. We went deer hunting in my buddy Phil's place years ago, and they had a high fence, and they had a bunch of exotics in there. They had Psycha deer. They had, lots of stuff. Names I can't pronounce. But anyway, we were in there, and he was
It's
like,
basically all the animals that Matt just listed on his table.
pretty much. He was like, yeah, y'all can go in there, just see a whitetail. You can shoot the doe. Because my friend Ryan hadn't shot one yet. So we were like, yeah, we'll go in there. So we found a deer, looked like a whitetail. And they were just staring at us. And we were like, oh, look, Ryan, they're just waiting on you. Just shoot it. So he shot one. Anyway, we took it back, and Phil had these, he was a youth pastor at the time, and he had these youth that would come in and clean them for us. And they came and took it and hung it up, and they were out there for like 10 minutes, and they came in the camp and were like, hey, Phil, we need to show you something.
We have a little sidebar, Phil. Phil, we have an issue here.
And so they came, but he went out and he came back in, and he's like, oh, guys, y'all killed the Psycha deer. I'm going to have to charge you guys for that, and rightly so. But we took that to the Independence Bowl that year, and a friend of mine cooked it up, smoked it all day.
At the tailgate.
Yeah, and that was the most delicious deer meat I think I've ever had.
It's pretty good. It's up there with Axis. I don't think it's as good as Axis.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a little bit below that Nilgai. Nilgai is still bar none, my favorite. But like I was saying, so we kind of got off track with
That's okay.
But
Listen to this guy.
but see, I'm trying to keep it on track, but it's
You're not doing well.
It's also a memory problem. Like I was going to forget what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But so my wife decided that I had a Nilgai European mount. And so I was talking about, where I wanted to hang it and all this kind of stuff. And then I came home, and my mother-in-law and my wife had hung a bear rug and then hung the Nilgai mount. And I was like, it's not really where I wanted that Nilgai mount. So I waited.
You got to do it. You can't just leave that stuff laying around.
So, because we argue about where we're going to put this stuff, right? Because she doesn't want any more animals on the wall.
Right.
And I'm like, they've got to go somewhere. She goes, well, you need to stop shooting them. And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen.
Right.
So, or stop mounting them. And I'm like, well, I've drawn it back to where now I only mount something that I've only shot once. So I'm not mounting
Multiple elk and multiple bear. And
so, well, the bear, I'm still going to mount that because I'm short a red and a cinnamon colored deer or bear, and then I'll have all the colors.
yeah.
But so then I went and I hung something up, and it wasn't where she wanted it, but now it's hung, and so we called a truce, and so now
No more hanging.
yeah, so now those animals just sit on the table, and we're like a Mexican standoff. It's like they're just there waiting. And I keep waiting because I'm like, I need, and they're all going to go in my shop when I build my shop, but with the prices of everything lately going through the roof, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I was going to say you need like a large shop or some kind of a little man cave lodge out there.
See, now being that, and my favorite quote, is don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah.
I've talked about this shop for
A long time.
8 years.
He's even got plans. Like he's drawn it up. Just
I know exactly what I want, but every time I go to pull the trigger, I look at that price and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to spend that much.
Just cash in those stocks.
No,
right?
no. No, those are bonuses. Those are bonuses.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the taxidermy problem, so we're all good there.
No, I've mounted 2 things in my life.
Yeah.
Well, and then, funny because you're wearing the hat today from a buddy of ours from Wes over at M&W Taxidermy. And it was kind of funny because when I got back from Kentucky, my wife came in and she goes, hey, did Wes call you? And I was like, no, I haven't talked to him. And she goes, well, Clara's deer from 2 years ago and last year are done. And then the black pheasant is done as well. So those are coming this week.
Bring your checkbook.
Yeah. So all 3 are going to be hopefully done this week. And we agree on where the black pheasant's going to go. It's going to go. We got a little fireplace in our dining room. It's going to go above that. And then I'm taking Clara's big deer out to my hunting camp, and then her first deer will be in her bedroom.
Yeah. So I've got
Nice.
very early on in our marriage, there was a discussion and a settlement of no dead animals in a living area. Like, so bedrooms in the house. So I've killed a lot of ducks that I wish, oh man, this would have been nice but I mean, what am I going to do? Put a duck in a garage? That's not going to do it justice. So I have European mounts, whitetail, and just some antlers, but all in the garage. Mm-hmm. But I did stop by and see Wes with that bison head, and it'll probably go in here. So got a place to put it.
I did see that my bison is full. So I do have a bison in my house, and it's in our office. And then she let me put I had a pronghorn antelope, which if Troy needs explanation on a pronghorn antelope and a nilgai antelope, we can do that. Yeah.
I'm going to put a picture of a nilgai and a pronghorn antelope up for everybody to see now.
Just take your pick.
But that went.
One of them's like 600 pounds.
I got it. I got that approved in the bedroom, and she goes, I don't really mind that one so much because it looks like he's smiling, and I'm like, all right, I guess it's
a happy dead animal.
Yeah. So
shoot me, please.
And she's more a fan of the European stuff, the bone,
Yeah.
She just really doesn't like the eyes, and I was like, well, that's where the realism comes from, that's
right.
But so I am pretty lucky, I guess, for what I've gotten away with so far, because there is a full-size bear in my living room.
Yeah.
2 bear rugs on the entryway. That's the Hall of Bears.
Right. Hall of Bears.
Bears.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. So, and then that buffalo, that is a big mount. I mean, that's every bit as big as that moose size-wise.
Nice.
Well, cool.
So.
Awesome.
I think we need to take a break.
We can take a break? Let's take a break.
Troy, I noticed you're scratching your facial hair that you have there.
Yeah.
Looks like you need some Admiral's Pennant beard oil.
That's right.
I think you could definitely benefit from it.
Will it make my hair grow longer and not be scalp as itchy?
It will stop the irritation. One of the reasons it does, it has all natural oils, no substitutes.
I can get down with that.
There's nothing fake in there.
Nothing
it's all
fake.
Real.
It's real. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
It's real. The thing.
For real.
I will grow it out.
You should, and I recommend Admiral's Pennant. 1815 is my favorite.
Where can I get some?
www.admiralspennant.com. Tell them Hardheaded sent you.
I will do that.
Hey, you also get a handwritten note.
From the owner?
From the owner.
Matt Amos?
In every
he
single
cares
package.
about everyone who buys his products.
Welcome back. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that your?
I mean, so that's the whole thing. I mean, Chet runs me over. I think we need to go to break. And then Troy, hey, we're back. Whatever. That's why, you know what? I'm not going to do intros anymore. I'm just going to pass it off.
You don't get to determine what you get to do or not do.
I've got the schedule right here.
We're gonna vote.
I've vote.
We're gonna vote. Troy and I say you do it.
Yeah.
Very well.
2-3.
So, fine. Shut up. We're going to top threes. And our top three on this one kind of goes along. Troy, you plan this again. Top 3 ways to increase the value of your home.
Top 3. What can I go first?
Whatever you want.
Let's vote. You okay with that?
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
Overruled. Number 3. New floors. So one of the first things that you see when you walk in looking at a house is what you step on, like walking straight in. So if you have old carpet or outdated floors or whatever.
And old carpet especially. Like that's a big eyesore.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yep. So yeah, I'd say, hey, you put new floors in, maybe not the whole house, because there's some things that are there, but especially your high traffic areas, whether that's hardwood or tile or something, just to not let it look as worn down. Number 2, outdoor living space. You kind of talked about that, doing that in your backyard.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a big fan. So we poured a big patio in our backyard a few years back and put the fire pit in, a little seating area, actually have almost a half court basketball court as well. Ended up buying, like, we have a pickleball set, so the kids, it's a great place to be outside in the backyard. You got some good shade, got the grill out there. So just like we have a whole living area where we could spend outside and enjoy our time, whether it's playing games or kids playing games and, sitting in some nice patio furniture around the fire pit. I will say for Kansas, we did the fire pit. Wish we would have done a fireplace instead of a fire pit just to help with the smoke.
Yeah.
So there's a few days where the weather's nice, but you're not going to light a fire just because the wind's blowing around too much. And so our neighbor put in a nice fireplace, and they're like, man, they don't have to deal with that smoke near as much as we do. So if I had to do over again, I would swap that out.
Noted.
Number 1, ways to increase the value of your home: kitchen remodel. If you do one well,
like you just did.
I don't know if we're gonna get our money back off of that, but
that is the most gorgeous kitchen I've ever walked in.
We're really excited about it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But it makes our whole house just seem different. With completely new cabinets. Let
me ask you this: does it make you feel like you need to upgrade the rest of your house because your kitchen is so amazing?
So what you don't know, like our new window treatments went in. That was part of it. That just we got last week, and
nice.
It's every room in our house got touched because of the kitchen remodel.
Yeah, it's that extravagant. It's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, some of it was just knocked down, like the knockdown ceiling and whatnot. But
yeah,
it was pretty extensive. But if you look at it, and Ashley being in real estate and whatnot, there is no issues getting basically more than what you want out of your house when somebody walks in and like there's a brand new kitchen. Like it's not the brown cabinets and the older appliances, and we've been in our house for 13 years now, so it really dressed up the whole interior.
And I will say that I just spent like a week and a half and with a good friend, and she was looking for a home, and everything for her literally came down to the kitchen.
Yeah.
The rest of the house could have been perfect, but if that kitchen wasn't on point, nope. Strike that one off the list.
Right.
Keep looking. So yeah, kitchen remodel would go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my number 1 way to increase the value of your home.
And I sure would like to have that ice maker.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty nice.
Fill up your coolers. No need to run and go get bags of ice. You just got,
you
got your own.
Yep.
That's
it was, we were talking with, like we get together, our church small group every other week, like I'm all-time ice guy. Like, it's because everybody, bring drinks and we're like, wait, we got the ice taken care of. We got a little ice maker. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
So I guess,
I'm good. I did 3. I didn't do more than 3.
I was waiting for
I did 3, 2, 1.
I got
Like,
you.
I made you happy and I made you happy.
You
So,
brought up the ice as technically not his.
that's part of the kitchen
that
remodel.
was-
It was part of the kitchen
Okay,
remodel.
okay,
It was
yeah.
along those same lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't an asterisk by.
Because I don't think you're going to get more money with just an ice machine, unless you're driving a limo. You got
Yeah, it depends
ice
on your
maker.
car. If it's your car, if it's your car and you got an ice maker in there,
yeah,
pretty-
baby.
It's a pretty nice
it's high
car.
resale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's living large with that ice maker. All right, so I guess for my top 3, I don't know. So I've been in the military, so I've all of my homes I couldn't do anything with. It was basically live in them and don't mess them up, because then you lose your deposit when you get out, and then whatever. And then when we retired and moved back, the Homes for Our Troops built us our home, so I really haven't had any experience in home remodeling or anything like that. And so I was actually just kind of listening, hoping you guys would really bring it on this one, because I really have no idea. So I just kind of looked at my house and said, what could I do here to possibly increase the value here? And so, one of them would be a shop, or a detached garage or something like that. You know? A workshop where, if you've got, the motorhead that wants to have a car lift in there and work on cars, or if they've got a couple of cars, store extra cars, or if you've got a family, you've got extra places and you don't have to fill your garage up with all your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also a good thing if you've downsized from 2,300 to 1,400 square feet.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you have a detached garage to put all your extra stuff in. So when you move back to something larger, if you
already have it there.
it there.
You're not paying for storage.
So, a shop, and that's kind of been like the one thing that I've been trying to do for the last 8 years, and just have really hard time, because again, like you don't know if you're going to get your money back out of that kitchen remodel. And while I never intend to sell my house, I want to be able to have that.
Whatever you put into it, you want to get out.
Yeah, I want to have that equity.
And I'm sure that our kitchens we're going to get paid for that if and when it's time to get rid of our house. But our mentality behind it was like, is it time to move? Do we want to get a bigger place? Well, we did do the outdoor living space a couple of years ago. Really like that. And then we're like, well, what else don't we like about our house? And they're like, well, it's our kitchen. So, well, if I invest in this, then I'm not buying another place. Right. So that was our mentality. It's like, we'll make an investment in it. It'll make us want to stay here longer. It'll increase the value of our home. But it'll also keep us from feeling like we wanted to quote unquote upgrade. And then you find out that a majority of the houses that are out there aren't in the condition that you want anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna
and
have
if
to do
you
something.
did, if they were, you're going to be paying way over top dollar for it. So that's kind of what led us down our path to make that decision.
So along those lines with your kitchen was when I made the plans, like you said, I've got these plans all drawn out, was to add an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah.
And outdoor entertaining area like you were talking about. And I was going to do it with the chimneys, specifically because at my house, there are no trees.
Yeah.
That wind whips across there, and I can, I know when that wind's, typically it's going to be out of the south or the north. And, and so I can adjust for that when I'm designing the outdoor kitchen, and, have a nice outdoor stove with seating area covered with like a pergola type thing and fire pit, and just
you put your smoker out there.
Just because, my house backs up, we've got a nice view of the lake, and you can sit out and just enjoy it. Right now, we don't have anything like that, I mean, especially in the summertime when that sun's setting in the west and you're sitting facing the west, and it just burns you to death. And so, trying to find those ways to make outdoor time a little bit more enjoyable. So, outdoor kitchen and shop. And then the third one that I kind of came up with was a whole home generator.
Yeah.
We have one at our home.
I love that.
It's when it's working, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I almost kind of feel bad, because whenever we lose power and my house is all lit up, and everybody else's house is dark, and it's like maybe we should just
let me give you a card. You can go call this guy.
Invite people over.
No,
you just kind of
here's where you go buy one of these things. That's what you give them.
But that thing has saved us more than a couple times, and we're having issues right now. I need to get some work done on it because I have to go out and physically turn it on. It's not actually when the power shuts off. It used to automatically just boom and come right on. Now it's not switching like it should. So I've got I think it's a programming issue. It's not
like a part.
Yeah, the generator runs.
I'll never forget. So we had one of the factories I worked at. We had a whole factory generator that would run. Power goes out, and 30 seconds later it switches over and then runs all the essential things inside the factory so you can still produce. And we had gotten it installed not too long before we had a big power outage issue. Well, those things are on a maintenance cycle to where they automatically turn on and run the motor and do all that kind of stuff.
Ours is every Friday for 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. So had everything installed, set up, big deal, cranes, this huge thing. And then we lost power and everything shut down. And then just a little bit later, you hear, it cranks up, and then all the essential stuff fires back up. And everybody's like, yeah, from a leadership perspective, you're like, yeah, we invested in this, everything, 10 minutes later, boom, everything went out. Like, what happened? It ran out of gas. Like the maintenance cycle's been burning gas this whole time, for however many months we had it, and then
nobody filled it up.
Nobody filled it up, Yep. So when we needed it, it ran, and then it just like then they're going, and we don't have like all the containers. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Did the factory workers like cheer? Yeah, like, we get to go now.
Yep. And so at my house, we really don't have that issue because ours is a propane.
Yeah,
it's powered by propane.
Yeah,
and it's literally, we have a 500-gallon tank, and that is the only thing
that's all it runs.
That tank is hooked up to. Is that.
Mm-hmm.
I know, to the chagrin of my wife, because she wanted a gas stove, and we just haven't.
Electric.
We haven't.
Dude, I love gas.
I do too.
I love cooking on gas.
So does she, and it's so much better to cook on.
Yeah.
But we're not going to spend that money until it breaks, and then when it comes time to replace it, then we'll replace it.
Yeah.
But those are my top three.
I think that's a good top three.
I like it. So that leaves me. All right.
That is you.
Number 3 is paint. There is nothing.
A little facelift.
Like putting a little paint on anything. Repainting the trim, repainting the walls, making it look good. That little paint can go a long way.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3. Number 2, Chet, I agree with you. Flooring is just one of the biggest things that you can do.
Yeah.
Hardwoods can be, redone, and there's no need in putting something on top of them.
Right.
You can get in there with a little sweat equity and sand them down and restain them and do all that stuff yourself, or hire somebody to do it and just make them look beautiful. We've done that a few times.
Yeah.
In our moves.
So answer me this: if I have, so my floors are all wood floors, but they're on a concrete slab.
Mm-hmm.
Can you sand those little panels down and refinish those, or do you need to get new panels? If
it's real wood, they're like a laminate.
No, they're real wood.
Yeah. You just sand it down.
Because you can see the dog, where my dogs chase each other inside the house. You can see the claw marks.
Yeah. My recommendation would be, don't do that until after you don't have dogs anymore. Because if you refinish it now, they're just going to do it again.
I don't intend to. We don't intend to move.
Yeah.
So.
Or you can do what we're doing and put carpet or rugs over all of your hardwoods.
That's basically what we've done in the major living areas.
Yeah.
We've got rugs there and rugs in the bedrooms and stuff like that. But the whole house
I learned from the refinement of being married to a woman, I've learned, carpet, not the greatest, gets dirty, hard to keep clean, wears out. So put hard floors in. But then you don't want to live on a hard floor, so you buy a rug to cover that.
Yeah. So I've had to talk my wife into keeping carpet in the bedrooms in every house that we've moved in and remodeled, because we've flipped 3 houses in the past 8 years or whatever. So this house we just moved into, the whole thing's hardwood.
So you don't have your rugs,
and so we don't have
carpet.
We don't have the carpet in the bedrooms, and we're not putting them in this house. But she said to me one night after I got in bed, she said, I really miss our carpet in our bedroom.
Told you.
And I was like, yes,
Yeah.
Troy for the win.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's good stuff to have. But now we have a couple of runners around our bed.
Okay.
Of carpet, of just a rug. So, yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
it must be really nice to slide out of bed and put your feet on that carpet.
It's really nice. He went there.
Crimea River.
He went there.
Yeah.
Oh, so that reminded me. Had a friend text me and said about one of our podcasts, recent ones. He said, a leg falling off in a podcast is probably the funniest thing I've ever heard. I said, yeah, that was pretty funny.
It wasn't funny at the time, but no, I was mad at that guy.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was pretty funny. All right, so number one.
Wait, let me rewind. So I got a
Go
question
ahead.
for you too, because I'm trying to learn here.
Yeah, do it.
So they've got that laminate
Mm-hmm.
vinyl, or it's luxury laminate, whatever. So would you do that over, like is that?
Like, would you put it over?
No, would you use laminate instead of hardwood?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
It depends on your budget.
It depends on your budget, and I think it depends on your usage as well. So I put laminate in my basement because they honored a 30-year warranty being installed in a basement. And typically, if you do wood in a basement, then you don't get any warranty on that because, moisture profiles and other things. So we have like a wood floor that we put in upstairs, and then we put a laminate in the basement. They're almost identical. They look really close. But I'll tell you that the laminate is a lot more durable, like with a dog,
Right.
than the wood that we had upstairs.
But if we're trying to increase value more, would you go wood or the laminate?
If you're just looking to increase value, I don't know. I'd probably say wood.
Yeah, probably wood.
Just wood. But if you do go the laminate route, talk to somebody in flooring that knows, what they're talking about, and buy like some really good laminate, because there's some
the
cheap stuff.
underlayment matters as well.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we laid that stuff here at the office, and there was we just put it's floating. And so we just put it right over the top of the floor, and those little undulations in the floor, that you can hear it when you walk over it. So I would imagine that padding would help that a lot, but we didn't go that route. We don't need it here.
No, I in two instances, we actually had when we bought our house. It was a spec home that was being built, and I don't know why we made a good decision, but we said, that we're going to go high on the carpet pad for the bedrooms and low on the carpet itself. And then when we had, it's been 6 years or so ago, we were getting new carpet for the kids' rooms, and the dude was like, yeah, I bought some carpet pad to put in here, but I'm not replacing what you have. It's the best stuff on the market, and it's going to make your carpet just be so much more durable. And so when we did laminate floors as well, started talking to people and say that underlayment that you put under there has a lot of impact on the durability of the floor, the quietness, the insulation. So if I wouldn't cut corners there, is on the padding of that kind of stuff.
Yep. Have we answered all of your questions?
You have.
Mr.
Thank
Amos?
you.
All right, you're welcome.
Go ahead with
What are you doing next weekend? Can you come over and help me lay some?
No, we're not doing that. There's too many mounts that need to be moved in order for that to happen.
Yeah. All right. Number one, one of the best things you can do, I believe, is to upgrade your countertops.
Kitchen, bathroom, everything. Surfaces.
Surfaces. Kitchen, bathroom. If you got a little half wet bar downstairs, change the countertops. Just upgrade them.
Yeah.
If you got laminate or
Formica,
that stuff, get it out of there. Get rid of it. In our last house that we just sold when we just moved, we didn't have the funds to really go granite or anything. So I don't even remember what we put in there.
Butcher block.
That's right.
Because we were when we were doing our kitchen remodel, that was one of our first options. Was we were thinking of going butcher block.
And so my wife is real handy, and she actually built the butcher block cabinet or countertops herself. And so that was a huge ordeal and undertaking. Glad we did it. I think it improved. I think we would have gotten a lot higher offers if we would have gone the granite or solid surface route. So, yeah, just from previous experience, countertops is very important.
We actually have a mystery going on in my house right now. So we have granite countertops, and my wife asked me yesterday, she goes, you know where this chip on this countertop came from? And I'm like, no.
So I was moving the dill guy off the table and put it on the counter. And
I was like, I haven't been home, so it had to happen like while I was gone. But strangely enough, she doesn't know where it came from. I don't know where it came from. And both my kids say it wasn't us.
Yeah. Something happened.
Something happened. I don't know what it was, but something happened while I was gone. I chipped that granite countertop, and I'm not sure how to fix that.
Wow.
I don't either.
I would call a local granite company, and because I think they can patch
how big is it?
It's
like a quarter?
Yeah, it's like right on the edge. It's not even a quarter. I mean, we're talking like maybe.
I just put some epoxy on that thing.
It's like when you run your hand across it, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But more annoying than anything.
YouTube it.
But it's a mystery. Don't know how it happened.
Yep.
One of my kids broke granite.
Maybe your dog just needed a chew toy.
Maybe they got mad at each other, and one of them threw their ice skate at the other, and it chipped the granite.
No, at the price
those ice skates,
those ice skates, and the detailed care that goes into sharpening those things, there is no way that she would ever do that with her ice skate.
They stay in their special container.
Oh, and I mean, they don't even get left in the car if they go somewhere. Like they get taken because she's like, well, I don't want to go through the whole fitting process and all this again.
Right.
Nice. All right.
Cool.
All right. Are we on to a good word?
I think we're on to a good word.
And I guess, Chet, you're going to do that for us.
Yeah. My good word for the day, for today's episode, is prayer. So I had a recent bout with COVID that was pretty interesting. And one of the neat things that happen, I think, any illness, especially when you're in a community like ours with believing people that care about you and pray for you, is, I don't know, it was like the third or fourth day, and my lung capacity I started having issues, and there were two things, physical and then mental, that go on. And Ashley walked in. Yeah, I don't know. It was mid-morning. I just remember being mid-morning. I'd been isolated from the kids for I don't know how many days. Like my son thought I was in Texas. Like he literally didn't know I was in the house. He's like, "Where's Dad?" It's like, is he down fishing? In Texas. I'm like, yeah. My wife is like, no, he's like literally been in his room for 4 days.
Oh my.
But I was just in a funk, and all of a sudden, like literally, I felt calm. I felt at peace. And I was like, man, I still physically feel bad, but mentally something just happened. Like something just happened. And Ashley walked in and she's like, how you feeling? And I said, I don't know what just happened, but I could tell you right now, I feel so good mentally. Like it's like all of a sudden this fog was lifted. And she said, hey, I just sent out a text to all my friends and they started praying for you.
Bam.
Like 5 minutes ago. She's like, it got, I started feeling bad enough about you and say, hey, we're calling in the big guns. And it was like a switch that flipped. She sent out a text to our small group at church and some other friends of ours. And then there was an immediate difference in my demeanor. So, just from an encouraging perspective, people don't know, like, they knew to pray, right? But they didn't know what I needed, but who they were talking to did. Right. And Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, now to him who is able to do far more abundantly than all we ask or think, according to the power at work within us. So, he's going to do more than what we know to ask for. And I thought that was very evident in my situation and in a very finite. I know a lot of times we could sit back and say, I've come through all of this, and God carried me through all of this, and it's a big, broad journey. But at the same time, like seconds after people praying, me feeling different. I mean, it was so finite, and I couldn't explain. I was just like, she literally went, "Hey, you know what?" I'm like, I don't know how or why, but something just happened. And she's like, "Well, this is what I did. I sent out some prayer requests," and it was instant. So, I was reading an article that, basically it's kind of a summary of that Ephesians, but God answers better than we ask. Like, people didn't know exactly what to ask for. He knew what I needed, and he provided that based on somebody asking something that they didn't know exactly what they're asking for. So prayer works. I mean, there's evidence in my life of that.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's cool to see the hand of God move like that. And I know it says somewhere also, when we don't know what to pray, the Holy Spirit steps in and prays for us.
Yeah.
So I think in those situations that happens as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's Romans 8, maybe.
Yeah. Like, hey, I know Chet's sick, if you just take care of him. Yeah. And Holy Spirit steps in and does his thing. So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So that's my word, prayer.
I like it. And so to talk about the peace, that just kind of came over you.
Yeah.
So when I stepped on that second IED, I mean, I knew it was pretty bad. And matter of fact, I only found out like right before I left for Kentucky, which has been like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That my heart actually stopped, and I don't know how many times my heart stopped. I didn't know that until my daughter and I were arguing about death, and I said, "You can only die once."
Yeah.
And so she goes, "Well, because we got in a Superman argument," and so, but she likes to argue with me, and so we were arguing about that, and then she goes in, and I was like, "Well, go ask your mom," and so she's like, "Well, your dad's heart stopped."
Right.
I was like, "What?
What are you talking about?"
I didn't know that. But it was kind of funny because as I was laying there and I could hear him calling the medevac, over the radio, and I got just a bunch of stuff going on around me. I'm telling guys not to get too close, to take their time getting up to me, and because there's always more. And so take your time. Don't rush to get up to me. And I'm starting to try to put on my tourniquets. I'm not doing a very good job, but as I'm laying there as I was kind of figuring things out, what was going on, because it's a pretty big blast, and so you got to clear your head a little bit. And but I laid there, and I was like, I was like, man, God, I don't know if this is my time, it's my time. I'm ready, but if I come through this, show me what I'm supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, just peace. Like, it was whatever, you know? And so, I mean, I wasn't
right in the middle of all the chaos.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going on around me, and they're trying to get IVs in me and get the tourniquets all set and everything like that. And it was just like, what, whatever. Yeah. And so that's kind of, and then that piece, it was just like the whole time, it was like, whatever, no big deal. Yeah. Whatever happens, take care of my wife and kids. If it's my time, make sure they're taken care of, and
right.
I'm ready for whatever comes, and that's, I think that faith and that peace just is something that non-believers don't understand, and that it would be extremely beneficial to them if they would.
Right. Well, and to be open to it. Right. Because there's still times that believers are very anxious about things.
Oh yeah.
But you get your focus right, and then you get the influence of the Holy Spirit to, hey, it's okay.
Yep.
You're going to be all right. I'm here.
Because again, like you said, the stuff that we don't know to ask for, that he's answering. He's
going to answer better than we ask.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he knows the big picture. He knows the master plan, which is always the best way.
Yeah. And have faith in that. Yeah. Right. Rest in that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, let's take us on out, Matt.
Oh no, I'm not taking us out, but I will put some music on to.
All right, Troy,
to take
you got
us
it,
out
man.
too.
That's all you, man.
All right. Welcome. What happened? Maybe,
Where are you at?
Maybe you could do this, Matt. Thanks,
done better than
everybody.
that.
This is such a disaster.
Thanks for listening to Hardheaded on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you want to watch us, go to YouTube or rumble.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hashtag join the conversation. Tell us your top threes in the comments and what's been on your mind lately. Maybe we'll cover it in an episode. Talk to you next time.
Keep going.
Nice save.
Yeah.
We need a little extra music for you to cover that stuff up.
No, we're good.
I'm glad that music played that long.
I mean, we have technically about a minute and a half of that left, so you could have really...
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Cut.
All right.